Just a minute, guys. Okay, so, hey, how you doing? There will be no edited video upload today. I had a headache, so I had to take a extra long nap this afternoon, and as a result, there will be no edited video unless it will be a mini video, but probably not. So, as for my channel, the Templar series is almost done, and some of you may want to know why I did the Knights Templar series. Number one, it's a blot on the Catholic Church or the Christian Church, because the Catholic Church was the only, well, I think the Eastern Orthodox was around at that time, but the Catholic Church was the church at that time. So, yeah. And also, I wanted it to be known that Christians are crying foul that the Muslims are declaring holy war. Now, I want to be very, very clear. Not all Muslims have declared a holy war. I know Muslims, and the Muslims that I know are decent, hardworking, law-abiding people that you would love to know. And the screwballs that want holy war, there's screwballs in every religion, just like Christianity. So, one of the reasons I did the Knights Templar, hey Purple, hey Doorknob, hi Beach. One of the reasons that I did the Knights Templar series was to show those stupid Christians, hey Hamable, that the Muslims are not the only people who engage in holy wars. So, and the Crusades were holy wars. That's all it was. They were holy wars. Don't let anybody tell you any different. There was no reason for people to go on the Crusades except as a holy war. So, don't you ever let Christians tell you and try to play the victim card that the Muslims are doing a holy war and they never did a holy war, because I'm here to tell you the Crusades were exactly that, holy wars. So, I've got one more installment on the Knights Templar. And then the Knights Templar will be kaput. That series will be done with. I will be starting some new series, but they'll be kind of checkered. So, I'm not starting them all at once. One of the new series that I'm going to be starting is on Search for the Historic Jesus. True, Doorknob Head. Well, you know, that war we're over with Iraq and Afghanistan, those are holy wars too. Hell, you don't even have to go back to the Crusades to find an example of holy wars. I'm just saying. So, I will be starting a new series, sorry, entitled In Search of the Historic Jesus. And I will probably start that as soon as I finish the Knights Templar series. There's also another couple of new series that I'm going to be starting. So I'm excited about that. And I'm excited to have you guys here. Yes, Purple. Yes, it will be. Because, and this I actually know because I love archaeology. Besides psychology, archaeology is like my great love. And they actually found the Jesus family ossuary in, I don't know whether it was in Jerusalem or right outside Jerusalem, but they did find the Jesus family ossuary. Do you guys know what an ossuary is? You guys know what an ossuary is? Oh, I have two of them, Doorknob Head. They're probably sleeping right now. Okay, an ossuary is kind of like a, what bead? Are you sure? Because, the last I knew of it, it was the Jesus ossuary. I will check it out, Beej. I will. Yes, Doorknob Head. Oh, she's up in her nest. Callie is. I'm not sure about Tux. He's probably back in bed. Okay, Beej, I'll check it out. Before I say anything more on the matter, I'll definitely check it out. But anyway, ossuaries were really, really big around the time of Jesus. And I think they were only big for about 200 years. I'm pretty sure it was only like 200 years that they were pretty big. So, but I will check on that, and I will get back to you on that. Thank you, Beej. That's right, Beej. We are not afraid to be wrong. But you know who is afraid to be wrong? I never have figured this one out. Christians are afraid to be wrong. You know, can't remember. I can't remember the video it was on, but I was having a conversation with this Christian girl, and we kept going back and forth for a while, and she's like, I will not question God. And I told her, I said, if you have the truth, then why are you afraid to question? Because if you have the truth, it's going to stand up for scrutiny. Unless, of course, you don't think you have the truth. But anyway, it just, I was never one of those people that I was afraid to ask questions. I just wasn't. And that's what got me out of the YEC crap. Well, even when I was a Christian, this is what I said about that. When I believed in God, and I'm an agnostic, I'm not necessarily an atheist, I'm an agnostic. But even when I was a Christian, this is what I said about that. God is a big boy. He can handle my questions. So, any God who buckles under some questioning isn't really a God worthy to be served, is he? So, in search of the historic Jesus, that is going to be yeah. And that's a position I have always held. Door in our bed. Yes, this is true. This is true. So anyway, another one that I want to start is one on the People's Temple. I'm not sure how old you guys are. I actually was born the year of the mass murder and suicide, because it wasn't just a mass murder. I mean, a mass suicide. There were people who were murdered on that compound. So, that's going to be another series. And then on down the road, once I get in search of the historic Jesus, I was born in 77 free, but I was born a few months after the mass murder and suicide. Hannibal, it was the Jonestown Agricultural Project, I think, was what it was called down in Guyana. Yes, Purple, I'm referring to Jonestown. So, so I will be starting a series on the People's Temple, and hopefully I can go back into Jim Jones's childhood, because one thing you need to understand, and I think you do because you're all very smart people, is that a narcissistic cult leader doesn't just start on the day that he decides he's going to start a cult. Beej, I don't think I could watch that. I have watched the footage of the senator and the people who were accompanying the senator. I have seen the footage where they were gunned down. Um, but I have not seen anything like on the People's Temple Agricultural Project. So, um, hi, Nerdy Rodent. And then sometime after I start with those two, because I want to start with those two series first, then I will start the series sometime after that on exorcism. And one interesting note on exorcism is it is not just the Catholics that do exorcisms. Not only do other Christian denominations do exorcisms, but other religions also do exorcisms, especially voodoo. Voodoo does exorcisms, and a lot of the other African religions too, but probably other religions also do exorcisms. So it's quite interesting. Oh, happy birthday, Free Spirit. No, it really isn't, Maya. I mean, even the Christ figure is borrowed from Zoroastrianism. So, you know, but anyway, it just good, Free Spirit. Glad you have a best friend. The Cult of Mithras? I don't know much about the Cult of Mithras, Hannibal. I'll have to look that up. But I know he was borrowed from the Zoroastrians. So anyway, yeah. The other thing... The other thing that needs to be mentioned is Godless Engineer was saying this yesterday. The Gospels are not eyewitness accounts. The first Gospel wasn't even written until 40 to 70 years after Jesus' death. So they're not eyewitness accounts by any stretch of the imagination. But going on what I was going to say, the Romans would never have allowed a crucified man to have a proper, respectful burial. They would not. Part of the punishment of the crucified was to rot on the cross as a warning to other people. So, there is no way in hell Pilate would have given Joseph of Arimathea Jesus' body for a burial. No way. I'm sorry about my voice, guys. Um, so let's see. What's going on with you guys? My dad just had surgery on his foot again because the the rod that the doctor had put in to stabilize his fibula um, had shifted. So he needed to go back in and do it again. And that's why I didn't have an upload. Not yesterday, but the day before yesterday. Oh, nerdy, I'm sorry. Does that mean your nether region shrunk too? Tell me your nether regions didn't shrink too. Yeah, this is true, Purple. So anyway, I just wanted to hop on since, I'm not going to have an edited upload today. I just wanted to see what my peeps were up to and tell you a little bit about what's coming down the pike. The more videos I do, yeah, me too, Purple. The more videos I do, the more videos I think of, and so my to-do list is like getting longer and longer and longer instead of shorter and shorter and shorter. Doorknob head, get a Wiccan to do it. Wiccans are not allowed to take any money for using their magic. We're talking about white witches here. Not for me, Doorknob Head, because I'm like, I'm never gonna get all this done. But, you know, Beej, yes, he did. What happened was, it's just something that happens sometimes. He didn't have enough bone in the fibula to hold the metal rod in place. And so what the surgeon ended up doing this time was taking a bone graft from the hip. So now there's more bone there for the rod to be able to stabilize. So, no, he did what he was supposed to do. And, yeah, and it wasn't the surgeon's fault either. It's just something that happens sometimes. So, yeah, Beach. No, and he's back in a wheelchair for 6 weeks again. But, you know, um, and it kind of sucks because, um, I don't, I don't want to pull a poor me card. But I do want to tell you guys it does suck because we're kind of, my dad is retired military, and he was on 100% disability, and that has now gone down, and now his military is 30% of what it was, and now we're kind of just holding on by the skin of our teeth, hoping that we'll have enough for each month until he can be able to walk again and get his other shoulder done so that he can go on 100% disability again. So we're kind of like really scraping the bottom of the barrel with money right now. And it sucks. So, not trying to pull the victim card or anything. I'm just, keeping it real, letting you guys know. Hey, Mr. Shadow Kitty. Free, I have food stamps. I do. My dad doesn't, but I do. Purple, not exactly. He needs to, they went ahead and they gave him 100% disability, and it kept going, and then they stopped it, until they said, and this is what they said, he called them and they said, until he could get his other shoulder done, because he's already had one shoulder replacement, so now he needs to get the other shoulder replacement done so he can go back on 100% disability. But he cannot get his other shoulder replaced until he can walk. Free, this is the government, so probably not. And you know what really gets my goat is that I qualify for food stamps, and I am on food stamps, and I am on Medicaid, but because I don't have any children, I cannot get welfare. And I'm like, what the fuck? Just because I don't have any kids doesn't mean I don't need help. Purple, this is the government, so it's not going to make any sense. This is true, Free. It is backward. I'm like, just because I don't have any kids doesn't mean I don't. I mean, what the hell am I supposed to live on? I mean, right now, my dad, it's a quid pro quo because I'm taking care of my dad physically, and he's taking care of me financially, but seriously, this is so fucked up. So I'm hoping that within the next month or two, I'm going to start getting my SSDI checks, because my I was in voc rehab, and they told me one day, they said, Lisa, you just can't work, and you need to file for disability. And I said, well, I already tried that, and they declined me. And she said, well, now you got the state of Oregon backing you up. So hopefully I will be able to start getting my disability pretty soon, and that'll, let us be able to breathe a little bit. Anyway, what else is going on? It's finally starting to cool down here. I am in the valley, so it can get hot here. Like, sometimes over 100, but that's not every year. And even when it does get over 100, it's only like 2 days a year. Yes, free. I will be getting back pay, which is good. And Maya, I was turned down when I was in Alabama. I haven't lived here. I've only lived here for like 2 years, I think, something like that. 3 years maybe. Okay, Purple, I will. So anyway, Purple, don't mind Streamlabs. I have no control over. Oh, doorknobhead. Yes, and you know what? I am so glad I don't live there anymore. Oh my God, I was so fucking angry when they passed that anti-abortion bill. So fucking mad. I mean, it's like... Of course, Alabama is the state where Governor George Wallace stood on the steps of Alabama State University and famously said, no black person is ever gonna come here. See you later, free. So anyway, I was in Prattville, and then I moved to Birmingham. I like Birmingham better, actually. But yeah, and now I'm in Oregon. Probably, Maya. Probably. But I will say this. I will say this. We had a huge... Alabama had a huge ice storm. I can't remember when it was. And then Governor Bentley, it was supposed to go south of Birmingham. So nobody was ready for it to hit Birmingham. Oh, Doorknob, do you live in the Willamette Valley? And people they were stuck and on the street, so they left their car because oh, Corvallis, cool. And so they left their cars, and um, hotels let them crash in the lobby. You know, if they had, of course, if they had money, they could rent a room. The hotels didn't just give them rooms for free, but hotels let them crash in the lobby. Um, there were stores that, you know, brought out camping equipment for them, you know, and stuff. And but their cars were in the road because they didn't do anything to steer them off to the side. But that's a problem because emergency vehicles need to get through. So Governor Bentley, who was the then governor, said that the state of Alabama had towed their cars to the side of the road at no charge to the owners. So he said, when you go out, when you finally go out, your cars are there. They're just not where you left them. You're just going to have to, you know, look around till you find your cars. But we did not tow any cars to the impound. We just put them to the side of the road because of the emergency vehicles had to get through. Hannibal, there's a lot of Auburn Tiger fans in Alabama. So anyway, but yeah, I just wanted to let you know what was going on. I will have an edited upload tomorrow. I'm working on it. And I'll see you guys later. Thanks for coming by. Talk to you later.